Northwest Species at Risk was created out of necessity to be the local voices at the provincial and the federal table in regards to land planning for species at risk. We actually partnered with the Alberta Trappers Association and the Alberta Biodiversity Monitoring Institute, which is ABMI, to look at and deploy cameras and audio recording units in 3 different grids in 2 different caribou ranges.
There are 5 caribou herds in the northwest corner of Alberta. There's Bistiou, Yates, Chinchaga, the Caribou Mountains, and Red Earth herds.
Me and my dad went out together on that project. It was a good project. I had lots of fun doing it.
At the beginning of the project, the ABMI, the Northwest Species at Risk, and the trappers were all involved in a training exercise where we found the location, set out the cameras, and did the whole protocol, and also the bookwork part. You know, we had to document everything. So it was a valuable experience.
In northeastern Alberta and northwestern BC, and even in the territories, there's these types of camera projects. The gap that was in was Northwest Alberta, and there was none of this data that we would be able to compare apples to apples with. So we tried to figure out how we could fill that and be able to offer that data to make better decisions on behalf of the province and the federal government.
Each range had 75 cameras in 3 different grids. There's 25 cameras plus 4 audio recording units in each grid. We maintain the equipment yearly with the card change and the battery refresh.
After every year, when those were collected, ABMI, in cooperation with the University of Alberta, they would actually put the data together in kind of a usable format. The camera and ARU project is not just caribou specific. There's a bunch of indicator species within that project. So basically it was anything those cameras picked up. And it was sort of a wide range of landscapes that those cameras were set up in, and where they were trying to gather as much data as possible.
And a lot of cameras got damaged. Bears were the biggest ones, and believe it or not, squirrels. Squirrels would eat the foam right off of the audio recording devices.
Some of them like to chew on the little red lens on the camera too there, so that needed to get repaired.
The other interesting part of the 3-year project is that it could actually measure growth. And because of the way that the cameras are set and the measurement around them, they were actually going to measure growth projections as well within the field of view.
You look at a map and you see the cut line on the map. When you get down on the ground, it's not the same scenario as you would expect. You couldn't even really tell where the cut line was in some places.
You can go in there that winter and you can clear your little trail that you go through, but it's amazing how fast that small vegetation grows over the year. For us to get out there, you know, we used all kinds of different equipment, from skidoos to snowshoes to axes to machetes sometimes, and you know, whatever it took to get in there.
The Alberta Trappers Association benefits from this project, and it shows how capable trappers are of being involved in any program when it requires going out into the bush. There's just no better way to get into an area than to talk to that local trapper.
Being the guys out there dealing with the animals and relying on them, you are the first to know if your population is low. You're the first to see a lot of things out there. It's just another tool for environmentalists and research people to use to know what's going on.
And trapping regulates the number of species. It's a lot less stress on the animals. We keep everything in balance. It's just a better life for them in the long run. It creates a very positive impact on the environment.
Alberta Northwest is very active fire areas. It's always sort of been stated that caribou don't like fire area land. What we found in the very first year of the camera deployment is that the caribou numbers that were the highest were in those fire areas of the landscape. So it'll be interesting to see if the second and third year meets that same trend that we saw in year 1. Data from the cameras are being collected right now by the trappers. ABMI is now putting together the 3rd year and then doing the comparisons with the 1st and 2nd year as well to create the full final report that we hope to have by the end of this year. The information will be publicly accessible. It is publicly accessible right now for year 1 with ABMI, and we're hoping to try and figure out a better way to summarize what we found out over the course of the 3 years and make that shareable as well on our website.
Since I've been involved with Northwest Species at Risk, I've attended most of the meetings representing the Alberta Trappers Association. Overall, I've had a good experience. I really enjoyed working with these people.
Yeah, I'd be happy with any project that they would want to do for researching or studying an animal population out there or anything.
For the Trappers Association, a really big thank you. Realistically, trapping is the oldest land-based industry in Canada, and they kind of are forgotten when it comes to that. Their information and their knowledge on the land base was invaluable when we started, and that is really what led to the partnership with the camera and audio recording units. It would be interesting to see and hear some of their challenges that they had with that program and how we can actually create a stronger partnership with them moving forward.